We are live, gentlemen.
We are live both.
So we'll wait for Mike to confirm sound.
Mike is not live yet. Look at the channel. Live. That is right there.
I'll turn up the volume so you can hear.
What do you need to hear?
You got it?
All right, that's it. Talk a little bit. So,
hello, Mike.
Can you hear us? You two guys, can you hear us out there? I don't hear you. You don't hear. I heard a delay.
Yes, it will be delayed.
But will our mouth match?
No, not right real time. Everything you say now will be delayed. Mike, all you have to do is confirm on.
Yep.
Right? But you're out of there. From this point, it'll be just kind of monitor the chat, and then we can also review post questions.
Right. So I said we start off with those questions while we wait for him to get on for the live chat. You agree? Yep. So hi guys, check out. This is my first live on my channel. I know I've done live before with Matt when we reviewed the Scout and we put it on the Sneaker Street in the USA, and that was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where that street was a 37% grade. I have with me Mike Rochester from his channel, which is Mike Rochester. My buddy Chris, who you've seen him in multiple videos because he rides with me. He's the one that has to go through all we're drag racing and all of that. And then we have my buddy Matt here with Electric All Wheel, who is, he came all the way up from Florida. Matt came from New York. Chris came from about 10 blocks away. So,
hard life.
Dude, being my friend is a hard life.
How
You
many
can ask Mike.
have you ridden?
Man, through Scott, maybe a dozen, half a dozen.
Yeah, probably about 10. Do you own one?
I do.
What do you have?
It's Free Sky Himalaya.
Yeah, you good for me?
You did.
But I never ride it because I'm riding all these nice new bikes, prototypes.
It's like
hard life.
Why ride his bike? Yeah. When I'm like, Chris, you want to go for a ride? He's like, I do. And I'm like, great. And then I just come in and be like, and I just put him on that. So it's good. And this is half of my. I don't even know if it's half.
No. When you had it split.
Yeah, you're like less than half. Yeah. So.
All right, I have the questions from the post, or I have the comments, and hopefully they're good. So what I'm going to do is I'll just read through them, and then when I see one, I will get it out there. First is from JD, and he has a hyphen extension. Scott, you do the best e-bike reviews. We love you. I can't make up my mind which e-bike I want to get. I live in Ohio. The Velotrix look good, but now that the wired bike with 2 batteries came out, it's hard to make a decision.
All right, so here's the thing. Do you want a bike that's legal? Then you go for the Velotrix, right? If you want a bike that is not legal, and
can we define legal for a moment? Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, define legal.
Okay. The whole idea is this notion of 750 watts, right?
That's part of being legal, yeah.
And then that's nominal. So
yeah.
Okay. Can you do a 750 watt readout on the wired Scout or Warrior?
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, because you can put it into class 2 and it locks in.
So I can flip that thing out and there's not a problem. So what I'm saying is 750 watts is 750 watts. The bike that has done it really is the Area Rider X5. Right? What is it to say it's a 750 watt nominal motor when the motor can handle 5,000 watts? You know what I mean?
Well, I think when people are thinking about what's legal, they're looking at the class 1, class 2, class 3. They're not looking at necessarily the 750 watts, at least it seems like the regulations are. So, you have your class 1, which the bike, it's more about the speed, right? The bike can go up to 20 miles an hour. There's no throttle. And then you have class 2, where the bike can go up to 20 miles an hour via pedal assist or 20 miles an hour via throttle. And then you have class 3, which class 3 seems to get defined 2 different ways. You either have you can pedal assist it up to 28 miles an hour with no throttle, or you can pedal assist at 28 miles an hour with a throttle that only goes to 20. So there's two different versions, it seems like, of class 3.
Well, and California. If you're going,
Well, that's the thing. All these companies are basing everything off of California. It's one state. Everybody else, you know what I mean? They all live somewhere else.
how fast is your bike?
Man, I barely ride it because I'm riding Scott's bikes all the time, but I think about 27 I got up to. And, yeah,
When you're,
It might
in
do
the
30.
city, like, are you compelled to eat more?
I would like more just to get away at stoplights and
What's
stuff
the
like that.
fastest e-bike you've ridden?
I guess that was last week. Oh, the wired bikes,
The
right?
freedom. Yeah.
45, something like that.
So you were chasing him?
Yeah, I think I got up to 42.
I tapped out at 44 on that one.
What
On
was
the
that
freedom.
like?
That
Is it too much?
it's a little cheap, but it's
Well,
cool to have the option. Want the option?
He rode this one on the way back, but he didn't do a top speed. Oh yeah, he rode the Wired Warrior. Yeah. But he's also spent a lot of time on the Ghost Cat, and we've had that in the 40s.
No, the Ghost Cat I never.
Or no, I'm sorry, not the Ghost Cat, the Goat powered bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't ridden the
right?
Ghost Cat.
Wasn't that
No.
one down for a while?
It was, but we got to work it. But he
the
rode it
Goat
before. It had 100 miles on it.
I
before it
haven't.
went down.
I haven't put on it in
Yeah.
a sustained period. Like it went out.
You got it, and that's when it went out. We
Well-
went to go for a ride, and it went out before you met her to storage.
Well, like when you brought up California, right? Being able to have those laws on the books, they put them on the books. But like one thing I think they're making a mistake with is getting rid of throttles, because when you get rid of the throttle, you know, when you're leaving a stop sign or red light, it's safe to look around you while you're pulling away by hitting the throttle, right? Rather than getting your momentum going.
Yeah.
So I think California's getting it wrong with that. I think that's
Especially
more
here, the way-
dangerous for someone to have to ride the bike like that. I think you're limiting their abilities when they're taking off to pay attention to what's wrong.
That's how I lost that race with the Ghost Cat and then on the Segway.
Right.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Well, I think you won 1 out of 4, so that's not bad.
I don't know what you're saying. I won every one of the ones when I was on the Segway, and I won one with the Ghost Cat.
In case you guys didn't know, we did some impromptu drag racing between between the Segway, the Ghost Cat. I was on the Rev 1 that Matt just had a second 52-volt battery to, and I had it in off road and boost mode, and the Segway every time dominated. And then yesterday we did some as well where we raced it against the aerial rider, and at the Ghost Cat and the Segway every time.
So I'm over on your channel, Scott, and there's a couple comments here. The first one is from Road Trip Buddy. Said, "What's up, buddies? Scott is the e-bike jetty." That's a bad Yeah,
I'm a Jedi
Yeah.
master.
Yeah.
My lightsaber would be green.
I don't know.
I don't know. Red.
Like
No,
the
red's bad. Red's like
Say that down loud. That's fine. I have three.
yeah. He also said all these e-bikes behind the guy. So
They are. All right, I've got one from Chris' second comment a couple days ago. When do you anticipate stronger, lighter, and longer lasting batteries to fuel our e-bike addiction? With the nationwide crackdown on e-moto style e-bike, will we see more wired efficient escape style bikes with no power?
So, no doubt that when you have a moped style e-bike, and we're riding it here in Chicago, like on the 606 trail or even on the Lakefront Trail, people are not as receptive to those kind of bikes as they are if we were riding a wired bike or an event bike, right? Or like the trucks that I reviewed the other day that looks like a fat tire bike. You know, nobody gives a cargo bike a second look. No, you can be throttling around and not even pedaling with a cargo bike. You can do it with the wired bikes, and nobody says anything. But if I'm on one of these, I will pedal or I will fake pedal so that people know that it's a moped style e-bike. And the thing is cops notice that as well. Cops don't give the wired bikes a second look at all, but they will look if I'm on the aerial rider. They'll look if I'm on the goat. You know, they definitely look on the Segway. That thing looks straight up like a motorcycle, but I definitely will 100% pedal when I'm around people, just because of the perception that it has. So I believe that once they start, you know, like with the wired bikes, they go as fast, if not faster, than these moped style bikes, and the Magician does, and these skate bikes do, but they will not. I do see how that would be where they would be making more of those to stay under the radar.
So I'm sitting here typing what will be next level battery technology. And I think that a lot of this is going to come down to what the industry creates now and how politically those that have been created will protect their revenue. Um, we saw a lot of difficulty for electric cars to make it in, and right now I think e-bikes, PEVs, anything under the sun from a unicycle,
Yeah, we got passed by like
one
three.
wheel to
Yeah.
anything like that. It's going to get cracked down upon eventually, and it's, I believe, misguided to a certain extent. The thing that gets me is that I want good stewards, but I also want to have fun. I want to while out sometimes, and so it's minding that all the time gets in the way. All this to say, there's going to be some excellent science. We need to get the energy density per cell has got to go way up. The weight has got to go way down, and then the charge rate has got to be good. To some degree, I wish we would go into different styles like other countries do. I think there are many countries where you pull a battery out of a rental station and swap it. Done. And they build around that. So just like the US has a standard plug, electric outlet, they have a standard battery, a block battery that you just pull and put in the bike. So I would really like to see stuff like that, and it would alleviate a lot of problems for here in the States. It's like, wow, okay. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the United States is the Wild West. Like, you can do basically whatever you want. Especially in a big city like Chicago, we got 2.8 million people here, and the cops. Well, I mean, people get around in all different kinds of ways, and the cops don't care as long as you're not being crazy or stupid or committing a crime.
Hey, Doug has a question about editing.
Okay. Yeah, it's just
What am I asking?
He said, how long is the editing process? Like,
how long is the editing process for you, Mike?
I say, well, this is what I say, and this is what stands true to me. For every 1 minute of video, it takes about 1 hour to edit. So a 30-minute video, about 30 hours. Scott,
I can do it in one day. I can edit an entire video. I can film an entire video in one day, edit it the next in like 8 hours. I don't want to, right? It's not.
And the more graphics and the more stuff you bring into it, and it just makes it longer. And
Well,
longer.
that's
additional cameras and drones, and chest cam and side cam. Yeah, it just adds to that.
I'm trying to get Mike to use the 360 more to where it goes towards him, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think you guys tell me if you like it, the fact that I have it where it looks like I'm talking to you guys more, or do you like more of the chest cam view where you're seeing what I'm seeing, or do you want it to where I'm explaining things to you as if I'm talking
Can you
to you?
see Josh Hicks?
Or more.
Josh Hicks?
John Hicks?
John Hicks.
Yeah. Everybody is.
He's POV straight off the chest.
Yeah.
He pulls the camera and he'll set it down and lets it on.
And at some point he'll be a huge. He's got like millions. He's got like 45 million or something.
It is pretty big.
You ever seen this guy?
Yeah.
He's done a lot of videos in LA, and LA is had a lot of political strife. They had the fires, right? There's just like all this stuff out there. So that was a big part of his channel. But it's a thrilling.
Yeah, well, he's normally on a Suron or something like that.
So he's on a powerful e-moto or a powerful e-bike, and he rips it around Los Angeles.
Matt, hold yours.
I'm gonna check your live for questions.
You what?
I'm gonna check your live for questions.
Yeah, sure. I don't know that you'll be able to see them
Because
the comments roll live.
yeah, so they're going to be on my channel, not his.
Okay.
Because he teamed up with my channel. Okay.
Also,
I'm assuming. I don't
everything's
know.
fine.
It's like how we've done.
Uncharted waters.
all right, this is just a pat on the back. Hi, Scott. Your reviews are keeping us all well informed. Awesome job. I will be tuning in. Gonna give Mike emoji.
Who's tuning in?
Electric rides with us.
Oh. Well, thank you very much. Is he tuned in right now? Or did he like to?
And then right after that, yeah. Yes, Scott. Without you, we couldn't make a good decision on getting the right e-bike. Thank you for showing us all on your reviews how to make a good decision. Like, I feel Are you going to be able to make it through this? Or you
Yeah,
gonna
I
pull
don't.
away?
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull the case.
It's only-
It's nice though. It's nice. You know what? We do this for right. You do like your double battery and everything,
Oh yeah.
right?
Can I go back to one thing?
Yeah.
If I didn't have to spend time with you guys, right? It wasn't such an arduous day. It would take me about 2.5 hours. I would have done the Haybike video, complete, loaded, description, everything, thumbnail. I suffer in my video quality, right? I typically it's iPhone with linear instruction, and I take different shots, and then that's just kind of I have my own internal script with me. Um, but I can crank them out. I use it all on my phone if I want to. Lately, I've been trying to pick up a better style, more invested like you are, but there's no way in hell I'm going to be 30 hours on a video.
That's a lot. It's. I mean, come on. You'll edit for like a week and a half.
I've had longer ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever do you edit videos?
No, but that sounds excessive.
It is. It is a lot.
When I guess my problem too is I spend a lot of time looking at the video and reworking certain elements of it, or being real fussy. For an example, if I see something with it's not all caps and we're supposed to, I'll go re-edit it, upload it. You know, that costs me a couple hours here and there. Get it back up to YouTube. I just have a hard time saying it's done.
And you have infinite times to put it out, right? And so much to say.
But that's the thing. Like I'm full time. Mike's full time. You have a job. You do this part time. So yeah, of course. And I think all these guys that do review, any YouTuber that is doing this part time, it's amazing that you guys are able to do that. Really, because I mean that is crazy. Chris does a lot of social media stuff for his company, right? And I'm like, and he does a lot of AI stuff for this company. He does cool stuff for this company. And I'm like, how do you have the time to do that? Right? You know, it's just
What is a second job?
No,
he-
I own a sign company and we do vehicle wraps,
Okay.
site sign company. So I just film my guys do the wraps and stuff. It's kind of
So you deal with like all the digital world as well.
nah. I just use CapCut, just put stuff together,
and then
try to
AI
make it funny or whatever.
you know, yeah. And then I mean, speaking of Chris, he wrapped my Segway Cyber twice because we did it blue the first time, and I'm like, man, that red's just clashing.
Yeah.
Within a couple days later, I had to go ahead and redo it in the matte white. So props to that. So they're good. If you have a Segway Cyber you want it wrapped, that's the guy.
Oh, we only do it for Scott. We don't wrap
Oh,
motorcycles.
bicycles.
denied.
It is good to have it is good to have friends. Never
Step
mind. You do not know him. He is not going to help you out.
So, you probably should give Doug Blunt your phone number. She's got more questions here. He's got a couple here. So, where is the rock star Brad? Rock star Brad.
Brad's the mechanic. He's the owner. I'll talk about
Oh,
it.
and so
Okay.
he's asking you that. Well, because we're in Chicago.
Okay. He didn't mention who. I got you. So
Brad.
he wants to know where Brad is. Yeah.
Brad is he worked today, and so there was no way to get out. I came out to spend some time with Scott and Mike and Kristen, and then get on these bikes. Scott wanted a couple of items installed on his bikes, and then we had to work out some logistics for things. We did the dual battery for the Rev 1. We put a thumb throttle on the Aerial Rider X Class. We're going to put thumb throttles on both the Freedom and the Warrior. And
You did the double battery on the Haybike Mars.
Ebike Mars, yes.
Yeah.
And then I vetted the Electric Expedition 2.0. And we do have the setup for that. It can be done. They reverse their connectors, and I just did not bring them. Funny story, I did bring some things and got caught by the airport for excessive baggage weight. So, yeah, shame on me.
He came in with that bag. He's like, I got snagged. I'm like, dude, they allow 50-pound bags, right? I'm like, how much is this thing? It was well over 50. Well over.
Hey, road trip buddy wants to know if the dog goes on rides with you guys. Such a great looking puppy.
So Matt, yeah, Max is my boy. Right, we have 3 dogs. I have 2 French bulldogs and Max here, who's an Amstaff. He's too big to go on the rides now. I do have a vintage Land Rover that I will take him for rides in, and the cool thing is he just sits up in that thing and looks around like he's a human. and I love that. So I've been seeing where these bikes have these sidecars,
Yeah.
right? Where and they have a sidecar in it. I would love to do something like that with him, but it takes up room, and those things take up room. So
There was some serious rickshaws we saw today too. They were jamming.
rickshaw.
You could.
You could, but I'd be sad. But then you want to throw.
No,
I want to throw us all us.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, everybody in that. Those things are huge.
So I used to have a red-nosed kid, and his name was Baron, and I got a child trailer for a bike. It seemed like the two-seater. It's wider. I think the 8 limit is like 90 pounds, I think, and he'd fit right in. So he would sit in that two-seater kid trailer behind me. So we had to go through the "you're not going to jump out of this no matter what" phase, which that was fun. But
Yeah,
it's
and
fun that you realize it was
I
going to
don't-
be fun time.
I don't think he would jump out. Max is such a good boy. I don't think he would jump out. So he doesn't make a move whenever we're in the woods.
So I have a dog, Louie, who I got to bring into the mix because he's a crazy dog. He loves going for walks, going outside. He runs out in front of my scooter, and I'll ride at 15 miles an hour, and then I had a couple of them. I had a basket that someone had sent to me to take my dog out in, and he's in the basket. He loves it, and there's straps in there to hold it down.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. So they don't jump out. The trailers, we both did the trailers.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah, the pet sheds from
Yeah.
And then Chris has a cat.
2 cats.
2 cats.
Bobby Pancakes. He's not in the mom.
Well,
Just named him like that.
All right,
Let's do this one. This one's a real question. Charles Smith. My father is in his 70s and he remembers the great hoverboard holocaust 2014, 2015. So that's those split boards where
Yeah. Oh yeah, where everybody would hurt themselves. Huh?
and where people's houses were going up in flames because of the poorly designed cheap tech and batteries. He's afraid that I'm going to burn to death and begs me not to charge while sleeping, effectively treating the battery like a lit candle. No, but yes.
Oh, well, but here's the thing.
Hang on. Get through this.
Oh.
I just had a moment with that one. Can you guys who have had experience with multiple bikes, possibly charging all at once, talk about how frequently or not you've had any issues with overheating, swelling, or fires during your time e-biking application?
Well, I just want to say one thing, and then I'm going to let you go into the math of it all. I've reviewed over 150 e-bikes at this point. A lot of them I will just leave on the charger overnight when I'm charging them before I do the review. Right? I haven't had a single issue with any battery at any point, whether they're plugged in overnight or not. Right? I get it. I get the fact that you get 1 out of every 3 or 4 million bikes, the battery catches on fire and blows up, and then all of a sudden it's a pandemic. I don't feel that's the case. I just don't. What do you say, Matt?
So I've been on hundreds, I think 400 plus e-bikes. I've done dual battery on just, you name it. I've touched the majority of the market that is capable of it with aftermarket and factory battery. And I've seen what a hurricane can do. And to be quite honest, one of the worst situations I fell into was after the hurricane, when all the water went down. It's a very well-known e-bike brand, and I'm still endorse said brand to this day, no matter what. It's the pride and joy. It's the one that most of my followers and subscribers are there for. And
We would
this
have to have
brand,
a couple here, would we?
we have, yeah.
The 2 of them, right?
And anyway, all these fires started popping off. They're so prolific. They're everywhere. And they're not. It's an IPX7. It's a water cooler.
Oh,
And so they're potted, but that doesn't matter because if it makes contact and it shorts it, then they just go into thermal runaway and light up like it's a bomb, really.
yeah, but because these bikes have been submerged, right? They got caught in the flood, and then people dry them out, and then they think they're okay.
That's improper care for your battery in a very dire situation. But to that end, I mess with batteries beyond compare, and never have I ever I've never had one go off on me. I've never had any issues. I've had a swell pack from somebody else, like a puncture, a hit, like a hard hit, and that, you just monitor and make sure of a bad fall on a bike can pop a case. There are those aspects, but generally speaking, if your charger goes, it's gonna be the spot where the current stops. Your BMS will fault out. It takes a lot to really set these things off. It can happen, right? Bad cells, uh, fake cells with sand in them, that kind of stuff. But just the really bad stuff, poorly built batteries.
Mostly people tampering with them probably or using the
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
charger and stuff like
You
that.
have people
using
doing
wrong
charger.
all sorts of crazy.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm I guess a little extra. I always just charge them late or like I'll put it on for 6 hours and then turn off. I don't do it when I'm sleeping. But I've had a battery where I was putting a bike on a back rack and left my battery on the lumber. I took off. I went back a couple hours later and looked for the battery. I got a short on my channel for it. But this thing I ran over so many times on the road, it was dragged down the street. It looked really bad.
I think I did multiple
Yeah,
times.
it's
Like,
not like, oh,
it hit the scooting down the street.
what am I gonna do, right? So I put it back in the bike and it started right up, no problem. I was amazed. I still got an additional battery just to be safe, but I couldn't charge that battery to that.
Like I said, I don't use it too much because I'm always riding Scott's bikes.
Yeah, that's what.
Honestly, but
Yeah, it charges up Scott's.
Yeah,
when I do, I just plug it in. It's at my shop, so I just plug it in.
So it's inside.
Yeah.
You just leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever worried about your battery?
I got bigger things to worry about.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think we kind of covered that.
Yeah, I think like it's a tough position to be in for a very. It's hot button, but it's not as prolific as you think. If you look at the rate of driver accidents, not deaths or anything else, just accidents and per e-bike owner, and then you make a subsection of that related to batteries and issues, it's minuscule and a fraction of a fraction of all other things. It is always going to be highlighted because it's something new, a new reason to sensationalize. And as we all start using these 48 volt, 72 volt packs, and we have them, and it becomes more realized as an integrated part of society, we're going to notice it more and more and more and more. I want safety. I mean, you got the rad batteries; those things are pack safe. You got Velotric. You tossed a Velotric bike in the water and brought it out and it ran. So like,
After the water drained out of the thing, but then I threw an event. Before that, I threw an event bike in Lake Michigan while it was turned on. Had it submerged for 5 minutes, pulled it out, and it was still turned on. I still ride that bike. I still have that bike. We didn't change out anything with it. I upgraded some stuff. But what I'm saying is, it's the original bike that I threw into the lake. It just hasn't had any of those issues.
Still going.
all right. Another comment was just sodium battery technology ? Question mark. I say yes and no. Energy density will be an issue, and then patent on the technology. I don't know one way or the other if it's had, but you better believe some big shark company is going to buy up everything they can so they can reduce any competition in the market. So when they come to market, they better have the financial backing to make it the real deal, because it's gonna be like fighting off HD video versus Blu-ray. You gotta have. There can be only one.
It'd be Betamax
Yeah.
competing against VH1.
Yeah.
And what I know is that my analytics says that my target audience would know what a Beta machine was and a VHS, because everybody's about my age.
I think people are feeling comfortable with lithium ion.
Yeah, but it would be great when they come out with something lighter, farther. Yeah, which they will.
Here's another one that says, "Would love to see you ride the Segway up to the cabin." You're nuts for doing this thing, by the way. Up to the cabin. That's 3 states. How many miles is that?
That's 83 miles. That bike's not gonna make it.
No. So the answer
It's
is
not gonna make it.
no to the Segway to the cabin.
Yeah, sorry. That thing's only gonna get like 50 miles. I'm gonna end up in Gary, Indiana. Nobody wants to end up in Gary,
He
Indiana.
wants to do it.
You could put a couple extra batteries in your backpack.
No, see how big these batteries are.
I think you should read this next one.
Which one? Where am I looking at? Maximum charge. I don't. Gosh, Alex, stop it. I don't even have to read it. And an influencer pretty much told me that you're a bad person for riding a 72-volt e-bike. When did you lose all of your morale? Or morals? Not morale, morals. Don't need.
When I lost both,
When I lost all my morals. When I started my YouTube channel.
I think that's the reason.
When I started my YouTube channel. Here's the thing, right? Look, any YouTuber can go any direction they want with their channel, right? And with me, what I like to do is I run them all through standardized testing. So whether they're a well-known brand or a non-well-known brand, they all can treat it the same, right? So yeah, there was just somebody spouted off about a lot of stuff being a scam. Is she right or wrong? I have two wired bikes here saying that she might be wrong when it came to this number.
Can we clarify for everyone? Bought that.
I purchased this.
I bought online.
I bought my Segway. I bought my Goat. Both of the wires. Yeah, I bought them. I went through the the aerial rider. I bought it when it was a pre-sale, right? So, that's how companies like start, right? Like not everybody can, they're like, we're building these bikes. It's just like Kickstarter, which I've invested in Kickstarter before. Still got the product, right? You know what I mean? So it's look, people can be cautious. That's great. People can say companies are a scam. That's great as well.
That is not great.
I know, but it's their choice to do so. It's my choice to treat every bike the same and see how it plays out during my testing.
We have a responsibility to a degree to stop that kind of nonsense. Now, in all of the rhetoric that went out there at that time, the one thing that drove me absolutely insane about this idiocy and the vomit that was spewing out the mouth was the fact that suddenly, somehow, a small business trying to make an e-bike is going to fall victim to the words of someone who doesn't research. They aggregated all their comments from Facebook groups and compiled them together and then took what information they could out of the chats and then spent perhaps a little bit of time with some AI and very little vested interest to actually, get it done right. The research, there is the scientific method, there's peer review, there's all of these things that just kind of spit in the face of everything that she said and did. And not only that, beyond anything where she would say that the pre-order is a scam because it runs out before the credit card company. Well, I don't see this person going after Visa or MasterCard for not being able to honor said purchase by terms that weren't set by the e-bike company intentionally at all. It is just the way in which payment methods can be made. And quite frankly, what she did was cast a horrible character notion upon someone who had no intent. And that goes from escape e-bikes to wired to everyone in between. And not only that, but the fabulous founder is moving, in my understanding, towards the same class of e-bikes. And that, at the same time, is just to say that if you miss the boat at 60 volts, which I think is a lot of what happened with Dave Cleveland, beyond everything with shipping, beyond all the Trump tariffs, beyond all of that, if you just didn't prepare for the next iPhone and then you wanted to compete, you're screwed, right?
No doubt.
What is it? Don't bring a gun to a knife fight, or a knife to a gun
Don't
fight, or
bring a knife-
Don't bring a knife to-
The opposite way.
You want to bring a
Don't-
gun.
when you challenge me on a wired, warrior, I'm gonna laugh at you. And any one of these bikes, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, let's
So
go.
you gotta have a little bit of crazy in you to hit those speeds, right? I mean,
Right.
you ride. Here's the nice thing: you get the bike, you could ride it how you like. Do you want a little bit of power to be able to get out of the way if you're in the road? Look, I'm in Chicago, and where I come from, cars they're not congested like this, and we could jump in the road with these bikes and go.
Is
You
this
can go and
thing
get
look
out of the
like
way.
it's not
You can
built
get out
to
of the
handle
way.
it?
Right. You can get out of the way.
You're saying it, but what I want to know, do you think that bike is built to handle that speed?
Oh, absolutely. I
felt
felt super comfortable on it. No
And
doubt
the
about it.
feeling is weight first.
Right, absolutely. And when you're riding that bike, you'll know it because it's just it's a heavy bike and it's a big bike. It's quality.
There are hundreds of people that acknowledged and affirmed what she was doing at the time. And shame on them. right? You can bring an alertness to the notion, and trying to slap Happy E-Bikes or 2DO or any other one of the groups that she's trying to do right now can have the same similar effects. But after a while, when you say don't buy an Amazon bike, the very reason that you're going to Amazon is so you can get bottom dollar pricing with the backup of the company and that which they offer. You know, by virtue of the nature of what it is, which we don't argue about in all other products, except for now e-bikes because of this person, you're gonna get what you pay for. If you spend $2 grand on an e-bike and you have half a mind towards what's going on, you're gonna get a decent one. But if you think you're gonna spend $500 and get top tier customer service and everything's gonna be perfect, well, shame on you, right? The magic marker is at $1,000. The only company right now that's holding down that market, with the strongest grip is electric. And I just want to put it out there that that company was started by two teenagers that were taking pre-orders out of a garage. So I don't have any respect for what she's done. I I really, am disgusted by the whole notion of it, and it angers me greatly. And if you don't know, this person lost all of their stuff and then took it upon themselves to start admonishing startup companies, e-bike companies, and they're in our sphere. You know what I mean? Like the same kind of market, the same kind of stuff. And they started admonishing the companies that were actually providing the bikes. One or two, we were affiliating ourselves with, and I'm very proud of this affiliation, especially with Wired. Right, I was an e-cells guy. Right? I don't have any problem admitting it. That bike was top dog. That was 2024, and then Steve just went on a model increase phase where he's like, I'm just going to improve everything, and that's the way it's going to be. So you got 2024 plus, right? And then right after that, he says, okay, cruiser frame style, right? Change of freedom. We're going to have bottom load battery. It won't be on the top. We're going to fix all the display issues, programming, all the settings are going to be super easy. Like the brakes, he flopped to Gemma, right? They're holding strong. The lights are good. The rear rack got fixed. Like it's all of those things. And when you start watching that and you see it, you can confidently say you're about it. And I can confidently say, one, I did not endorse Wired up front. It was e-cells, but there's a difference between managing a good business and not. Dave Cleveland did not. Wired is. And that's the end. Whether or not we want to clash about 72 volts, how about this? Don't act like an idiot.
And Easy E saying thanks, you guys, for addressing this.
It's
Glad
too
you're
much.
talking about
Well,
it.
I mean, I get it, right? Like, it's easy to say that stuff about companies that when either you've never been on one, you can't get one. I mean, I think why don't you just buy one like everybody else and see if it's actually the real deal or not? Then she can test it and say that it's not what you think it is, right? Like, and
Bad advice. She took real bad advice from somebody, or she thought it was a good idea when it
I
wasn't.
don't know, but I mean that's the route that she wants to go, and that's fine. I don't care. I mean, I do my own thing, guys. I mean, you guys know that. All my reviews are basically they're standardized. They're all the same, except when I go to the cabin, I still run them through the standardized testing on that. So what else? Let's
I'm
move
not
on.
running
Thanks
a
a lot.
paragraph disclaimer.
Yeah.
Just saying that.
So I think
And everybody here knows what I do, so I don't have to put up a disclaimer because I stand behind what I say. And what I say, I will say it if it's not the truth. That's what I'm saying. I will stop talking about
Oh,
this.
you know what I'm saying? I don't need a disclaimer.
Exactly. Right? You just let it all explore the way it
Yeah,
is.
the bike performs the way it performs.
Look, if you're telling the truth all the time, you don't have to remember what lie you told, right?
Then Wired is not a scam.
Wired is not a scam.
And we don't know about escape e-bikes, so stop trying to trash them, man.
And Doug once sent you, I think it's what do they call it, super chat or a 299.
Aw.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't even know.
They're on. It must be because Scott got one too from
I didn't know that
road
was a thing.
trip buddy, and it said,
Okay.
"I would like to buy that dog and an ice cream. You guys rock."
Oh, he'll get a
I think
puppuccino.
that's what ice cream is. You get that, they give you that.
Yeah, okay, he'll get a puppuccino for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
All
what
right,
else
we got one more. Robert says, Scott, love your reviews. Question for the group, and it's got my name in parentheses.
There you go. Put it up.
That's trash, y'all.
Get to it.
Is it possible to add an additional battery to electric bikes to increase the range? I scrolled through electric all-wheels videos, but haven't seen a dual battery video for the Bellatric. I'm thinking of purchasing one of the Nomads but would need more range without having to purchase additional batteries from them? No. The answer is no. Reason why. Velotric has gone the extra mile to be able to wirelessly do upgrades. So you can run firmware upgrades on your hardware on the bike, and you can run firmware upgrades on the battery as well. This requires communication lines beyond just the simple positive negative coming off the BMS, which is then connected to your cells. In doing so, any kind of signalization communication that the display has with the battery to either display metrics, etc., would be lost unless we matched exactly with Velotric. That would mean it would be an independently created connector for Velotric, and it would have to be integrated with the balancer to show the battery metrics as you see them on the display. Here's what I'll say to that. I may or may not have feelings about being able to work on a bike, but damn, I know that Velotric has the best boots on the ground support for bike shops. I know that their IPX rating is just out of this world. I know that their UL certifications are not some, run of the mill scenario. They are actual UL certifications, the 2271 and
the 2849.
Yeah. So
2271 for the battery, 2849 for the bike component.
And so I'm not messing with that. There is one Velotric video where I cut into the wiring of the Discover One. I'm actually bleeding in that video. It's kind of gross. And I just resolved to not do that again. I know these things can happen, but honestly, I would never cut into a Discover 2. I would never cut into a Fold. I would never cut into any of the new Nomads because I want the ability for the Velotric software to take the best care of my components and get that upgrade. And if I interject or intersect that connection, it's going to throw errors. So it's a very well thought out integrated system on Velotric. Aventon.
You can't do that either. You can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it either. All right. What else we got?
So Big O said, great discussion, guys. After tonight, we should not give her internet.
Never.
And it was only a little bit of a delay in the comments and the conversation because it's already over. We stopped giving her any minutes.
No more minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, I got a few more words to say.
Get a couple more minutes in real quick from that.
No, because he's going to rant on about it.
Go on.
The love is very strong, man.
I want to ask, do you remember the first time you met Scott?
First time I met Scott? Yeah, I do.
What was going on? Like, was it a weird story because you don't have to tell it?
No, not really. He had Ranger Nutrition at that time, I think, and he came to my shop looking for a vehicle wrap. We designed it together. Yeah, we designed it together. We held hands. He didn't know. The cool part was I thought that was really cool because I'm like, it was already wrapped. My car was already wrapped with a different company that I owned before that, and he let me go in there and we sat side by side next to the computer and be like, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? Can we do that? I'd never had that kind of like support before with the company, right? So it was awesome because then it was his ideas, my ideas. I thought that thing was, bro. I thought that thing was kick ass when I got that. Yeah, it was pretty good. I was afraid you were gonna beat me up, so I was like,
whatever.
Whatever.
That freaking Kung Fu master over here.
Oh, yeah. Scott's big softy. What are you talking about?
All right. So we covered all the comments on the thing. We covered all the questions on the post.
Yeah, we got them.
So here's the thing. Tomorrow, all four of us are going to. It's called Bike the Ride, and this is here. They do it in Chicago. It's a fundraiser. Bike the Drive.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Lake Shore Drive.
Yep. So it's a fundraiser every year. They shut off 30 miles of Lakeshore Drive, which is unheard of because of the amount of traffic that is on it. So during this fundraiser, we're gonna grab 4 bikes. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna ride the 30 miles. I think we did like some extra stuff too, like we're doing pancake breakfast because I like food, and we're gonna film the whole thing. We're gonna share it with you guys, probably on our individual channels. Not Chris goes on rides with me, so Chris is coming. Yeah. Right. So I mean, I couldn't do this trip without inviting Chris. So it was one of those things where it's like he's he rides and he likes to ride, and I think it's going to be a cool event. I've never done it before. There's apparently going to be like 20,000 bikes there. I know some other people on wired bikes are going to be there. I know we're taking the Wired Freedom. We're taking the Wired Warrior as well because those are my longest distance. Well, that's not true. We're probably going to take the Goat because that has the biggest battery. And then, yeah, the whole thing is for me to find a bike big enough because we have to ride about 8 miles, right? Because it's down by the Buckingham Mountain, so probably about 8 miles from here. So we got to ride 8 miles down, 30 miles on the trip, and then 8 miles back. So I need to get bikes that I know that these two, the wired bikes, will do about 50 miles. So we should be good there.
The Goat might not be allowed out there when they see it.
I know that's the thing. So you're supposed to have a class 2 bike.
That doesn't even look like it's a.
But you know what? The aerial rider
Has the sticker.
and sticker says class 2, and it is unless you jailbreak it with the bike go app, which I 100%
Here,
did.
listen, bikes don't break the speed limit. People.
Right, that's like Santa Car.
I mean, your car can go 120 miles an hour. If you go over 60 on the freeway, you're going to get in trouble. So,
But all of these bikes I can tone down to class 2. That's the thing. So hopefully, I mean, I know the wires. They're not going to give the wires a second thought. I would like to take the Segway, but they're going to shut that down just right out of the gate. Probably they see that thing, they're like, no.
Make sure
so smooth.
Even though in the app I can make it to where it only does 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So
are you gonna make that declaration?
What's that?
What's your favorite e-bike?
Well, you know what? Before I came to Chicago, I have a lot, but it's almost like asking who's your favorite kid, right? I mean, that's my point. I like a lot of e-bikes, but that Segway is unbelievable. It takes off like a rocket, but you feel like you're coddled while you're going. It's smooth as hell. That bike, I've never experienced anything like it. It just takes off so quick, and it's just gentle. I mean, you feel it in control. It's a very stable bike.
that's what everybody says about the Segway Cyber. That is incredibly smooth, including Steve from Wired.
Yeah, that is my favorite.
Yeah, when he and I were up here doing the thing, we had Steve was nice enough to bring us down a cruiser, one of his wired cruisers, and when he did, I was on his cyber. I'm like, would you like to take this for a spin? And he did, and all you kept hearing him say was, "Wow, this thing is incredibly smooth."
And did you mention the custom wrap job on it, or was that the carcass? There's the custom wrap.
Well, no, I said about my wrap job, and then I said go to him for wrap. And he said, "No, do not go to me."
Right. That was the car.
Yeah.
Pay us enough. We'll do it. But, oh man.
Well, that was a car too.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, we've been having fun.
What time are we getting up? 7 a.m.
We're gonna meet here at 7.
Hey, the funny thing is, my number I think is like 22,048 or something like that. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
Like there's so
yeah,
many people
22.
on.
Yeah,
It
like
might-
our number started 22,000,
And the tickets were from
400,
2
and
weeks ago. I
Yeah.
can't imagine how many people signed up since.
which makes sense. I can see why they only want bikes that do 20 miles an hour. I got it. I got it. So I mean, I can see Matt just ripping through there at 50 miles an hour, just like people just flying off left and right as he goes through.
Put it in.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, so all these bikes will be toned down to class 2 as they should be, and then we'll have pancakes and whatever else they got. We've done up a T-shirt, so we're all going to be like date mates. And
We got a helmet, right? What was the helmet?
yeah, we got numbers on our helmets. So, and while these guys have been here, what I did is I have 4 Sena helmets, and they were able to talk to each other while we ride. Chris and I use them all the time when we ride.
Those are great.
Yeah, and those things are amazing because I mean you get a lot of wind here in Chicago, and you do not hear any of that wind in these helmets. They're truly great. They're great helmets. Anything else before we take a look, see if there's anything on the chatteroonie before we? I mean, it's getting dark. Can they even see us at this point?
what do we look like? Is it like outdoor adventure?
No, actually, it looks pretty good. It looks like Survivor.
Because they're iPhones.
Sitting around.
iPhones are good for just monitoring the.
See, that's something to do good too. Right?
Yeah, whatever. I hear these 2 guys, Androids over here. Get the iPhone guys over here.
Are you Green Bubbles too?
Yeah, he's Johnny Green Bubbles.
Gosh.
Yeah, and we're still friends though. We like each other. We have a lot of differences. We have some serious differences, but I think we're great friends.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So someone just
He's only doing that because it's on video. He's like, yeah, of course. Now we're great friends.
I don't want you to beat me up.
Come on, dude.
so Matt,
He's the toughest guy in this backyard.
he said, I'm assuming you guys are all going on the bike rides tomorrow, so he must have known that.
Yeah, that's really why they came up for that. Or that's how the excuse I invited them coffee. What else?
Mike Sky said, Scott, you should have said something. I could have went biking.
Who's this? Mike?
Mike Sky.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. So I met him. He also owns a wired bike, but he lives like a mile down the road. And it's funny. So I always run into this guy when he's on his wired bike, and every time that I run into him, I'm either filming or something like that. He has I think it's Wired Freedom, or like the older, like yeah. So he might have a dual. I can't remember, but no, he's a good guy. He's a wired guy. He's also a vet, and yeah, no, dude, sorry, I can't.
I mean, so outside in, it's hard because you have to manage a personal life, and then I don't know how many emails you get a day, but I have. Oh, where's she?
Oh, that's my wife laughing. You can hear her in the background.
Wait, you have to manage a personal life?
Yeah, a real job.
Yeah,
Where
no,
is
she knows I don't have.
Give her
She knows I don't have
over
much.
here. Oh wait, that's for you.
Yeah, no, she's making fun of me.
Sandra, why are you being so cruel?
Let's be a peanut gallery, guys.
So the personal life. I have a day job. We'll call it a 9 to 5, and then when I get home, I'm cutting that up. I get a ton of customer service emails, and then it's the actual product inventory, merchant,
and then you got to ship.
And then I have to do the install, get the bikes, have the bikes, roll through them, get them out the door, have another rotation, and then make sure that I can match up the product.
A lot.
Hey, so Gordon said, it's good to listen to the transparency in the e-bike sector openly. We need more of this.
You guys keep coming up.
So yeah.
So I have Tim from Shoot the Chit. He's coming up to visit me in October, and that's gonna be so hinged. Right. Now I'm gonna try to get Alex from Maximum Charge to come up. I'm gonna go down to Florida and do some collabs with you.
There'll be a time.
And then Mike Hyde from Electric Revolution in Utah. Right, I'm trying to get him to come up, and I'm gonna go down there. He's got some e-motos, and they have all those trails out there. I'm like, bro, how many do you got? He's like, come on down. We'll ride some.
I'm thinking about tapping on Generation E-Bike's shoulder and saying, hey, let's do this. Also, I really want to go and see what's going on with Joel. I think he moved to Tennessee.
Who's Joel?
Escape.
Oh, E-Bikes. Yeah, I know those guys. They're good guys too. What do we have? Anything else? We're gonna cut it out.
Dinner time. It's dinner time. I think it's dinner time.
I think it's past dinner time. It's campfire time.
Hold on, that one just came in here.
Okay.
I just got my Scout. I beat the crap out of it today. Going up and down the stairs, step hills, mud. I'm 300 pounds. Bike is perfect.
Oh, see, that's one thing that people don't take into
Shove that
account.
in your file, actually.
What do you say?
Shove that in your file.
Shove that in your pile. So that's a lot of things that's an area that some people overlook. Yeah, this Warrior can go 51 mile or 55 miles an hour, 54. I think I got it 54 miles an hour. But it will also carry a heavier rider up these hills and up these steep grades. So then you're taking somebody that is maybe disabled, hadn't thought about getting out, or is just overweight, heavier than they want to be, that they're comfortable with, and they want to go out and explore. Look, what people don't realize is I'm 80% service disabled from the military. I have a bad knee, I have a bad back, and if it wasn't for e-bikes, guys, I would still be on the couch. Right? So of course I fell in love with these things. I hadn't ridden a bike for like 40 years when I bought the Adventure One, and then when that happened, I put like 1,300 miles on that bike in a year. My wife's like, I don't even know why you're buying this bike. We live in Chicago. You're not going to ride it. And now 99% of the riding that I do is on a bike. I would so rather take one of those. And to know that you can put people with issues. I mean, your knee's been killing you all week.
I won a drag race today with one leg.
You won a couple races.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And so see, that's not, you can't do that on an analog bike.
So whenever I see somebody on an e-bike, any kind of e-bike, and and they're heavier or whatever, I'm just like, good for you for being able to get out and explore this beautiful city, because we have the ability to do it on e-bikes. I've gone so many different places. If you think that I would ride 3 states on a normal bike, well, my knee wouldn't be able to handle it. There's just no way it wouldn't be able to do it.
And I think
So I think it's great that they're making these bikes more powerful, because it allows people that are heavier, that want to get out, and these are the solutions for them to get out and explore.
and that's not even touching on tricycles. I mean, people that have balance issues and legit can't walk at all. I mean,
Yeah.
you can get on a tricycle and move. I mean,
By rotation, I'm not talking total miles, right? But just frequency on offs. Which bike do you think has been used the most for utility?
Out of all these bikes for Scott, the Abington, right?
For utility?
Oh, for utility?
Oh, I don't know what he's doing. That one.
Yeah, the electric expedition.
That
They're going
cargo-
on with the
Yeah.
The cargo bike.
Yeah, the cargo.
I mean, we've used it twice this
Yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
for
That's
grocery
what- yeah,
runs.
the first
it's
one
nice
going
to have it in the
shopping,
garage. It's nice to have it in the garage because you're just like, that's one thing that's a culture shock to me, because we don't need to have a bike to go places. Here, it gets you there so quick. And having that bike in that garage, yesterday you go to the store twice, just up. We're passing cars that are sitting there.
So
in
we
the
picked
sun.
up a case of
It's
water.
like, yeah.
We picked up
It's
a bunch
A
of
big
stuff.
case of water.
Yeah, 40
Yeah.
bottle case of water.
With that said, we don't, where I come from, we don't have all these bike lanes. I mean, there's bike stoplights for Christ's sakes. That have the bike
Yeah, you
lanes.
saw that for the first time. He went downtown, the stop and go for the bike.
And just to say, first of all, thanks Scott for having us come out here, because he shared all his bikes with us. Whatever you want to ride, go, do what you want to do, and we've been taking advantage of that. So he's charging a bunch of these bikes up tonight still. But just driving down Chicago, and he mentions, oh geez, this is what I love. Here's the concrete beach. Here's this. Here's that. It truly is beautiful. And I'll tell you what, they manicure the heck out of it now. It really is. It's not covered with houses. It's an area for the people. And you'll see on all our footage, there's just tons and tons of people down the 606 and all through there. So that's really cool. Yeah,
Dude,
It's kind of hard to come to Chicago and get on a bike and ride around and see it and not get the bug. I'm telling you, it's.
And I'm a people watcher too, so I love watching people.
He hasn't looked at the road once. That guy's head is he's rubbernecking all the time.
Everyone's doing things.
I'm like, we get it, Mike.
Cool.
The guy's good looking. Just look straight.
Yeah, okay.
What are we riding tomorrow?
We're gonna obviously have the 2 wired bikes because they're double battery. They can go.
Hold up, did you guys even pick your favorite?
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was
On the
killer.
wire, full suspension, even the bike case with the Cloud 9. Yeah, I brought them with me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So clearly you're not riding moped style because you can't use that.
I'm just
system.
trying to make a point.
I have the 2 that I know. We're definitely doing the 2 wires. I have to. The bad thing is I've reviewed so many bikes that I have to look at my reviews to see how many miles some of these bikes have gone. Like I can't remember how far the Aerial Rider has gone. I really like that one, and I'd really like to take the Goat, because that bike will do like 90 miles on with that battery. So
The only other one that could hack it would be probably the electric or the Segway.
or I'll take the cargo bike. Take that. The electric cargo bike will do it no problem, and I have no issues riding that thing.
I'm offloading my equipment.
Oh, we just make me pack go for all the equipment.
Hold this, please.
I mean, we could. I have no problem with that at all. It's not going to be about speed tomorrow. It's just about the experience.
Well, a couple more came in. Easy E was saying, I bought my Scout because I'm 240 pounds, and loaded with groceries, I can still maintain 40 plus.
Yeah,
Just with the flow of traffic.
yeah. With the flow, sometimes it's safer.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody has the bike lanes that I have here, and you got to be in traffic more than normal. I get it.
You guys didn't mention what your favorite moped style bike was.
I mean, of all, it's going to be the Segway.
Yeah,
I really
Segway.
wish for all that componentry to be on a larger frame style.
Unanimous.
I did whoop your ass with a ghost cat. I just gotta put that out.
One time,
And then I took
he was
you down
walking.
with the same.
He was
button.
walking all over you with the Segway.
Listen,
I mean, it's pretty innate.
Wait,
That's why I beat him
I
with
did
the
forget
ghost
to
cat.
mention one thing about Chicago though, and
Okay,
it's
yeah.
potholes.
Yeah.
Because they're terrible.
There's gonna be some footage out there where you'll see me run through a pothole or three, and he was right next
Slow
to
down.
me.
Back
playing
off a
with
little
the
bit.
stuff without any problem.
Right.
Photo.
No, I think it's pretty unanimous that everybody for the Moped Stolly bike
Unanimous, yeah.
is a Segway. Chris, you even like the Segway.
Yeah, I'd say Segway, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like the creme de la creme. I mean, I know people are like, it only goes 35 miles an hour, but the speed limit in Chicago is 30.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's
You're not
perfect.
taking it on the expressway.
You know.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you're forcing me onto a bike, I'm picking up the Warrior, and that's it. Like, all these others can go away.
Yeah, that's all he cared.
But it's got the rear rack. I know, like, I understand the center of gravity. Like, the battery's been pushed in. It's better. The wobble isn't like what it was. There's all of these things have been remediated on it, and then I put this on there.
Well, now
With
you got
one of my
three. Now
bags,
you have
yeah.
three different. Yeah.
I'm gonna be fine. And sure, class 2. I'm not gonna go that fast. But damn, I like having it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
I
having
mean, we're fine
it
with
a lot.
class 2 it during this, and then not class 2ing it, not class 2 during it after.
Whatever that means. When it's all over.
Well, look, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I feel like we've been on here for quite a while.
Yeah. Get dark.
And can they even see us still?
Yeah,
We're
it's still like it looks great on here actually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. But you know, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us on our live. For those who are watching it after the live, I'm sorry that we didn't get a chance to get your comments and questions in because we're watching this after the fact. You can still ask your questions on in the comments, and I mean we'll just check it out and like answer them,
Maybe.
or not.
Yeah,
So-
sorry about that.
Should've-
Full
should've been here for the
disclosure, if I see the notification, I try, but
Scott, I know you respond to every comment. Right?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I
I
do too. Always.
I do. I feel well because I'm also full time, right? And I also feel that I mean, I don't have normal jobs like people. This is it. This is what I do. So I feel if they take the time to leave me a comment, I can take the time to reply.
I'm
I know
temporarily full time though right now. In honesty, temporarily full time.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah.
I think I've missed a couple of emails.
Yeah. Like we'll film in one day and then like take 2 weeks to edit. So that's still full time.
30 hours. Oh my god.
30 hours. That's actually legit.
Dude, I do videos that
I
are like
looked it up.
44 minutes, 45. It's like a Netflix series. You know, that would take me forever. I'd be doing one video a month.
Did I say how much I hate editing though?
Yeah, no, it's out of that. You can tell by the you take your time doing it.
I hate it.
All right, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
All right, see you guys later.
Yeah, peace out.
he's like, get me out of here real quick.
I'm gonna step up. I'll hit the end on the button. If you guys have any other comments, questions, either one of the channels, once the live feed rolls, all of your questions, anything you have to say, will hit into the comments of the video. And the live feed, you'll have to actually hit the settings to see the live feed comments as it was while the video was playing. I don't have the exact instructions for that, but it's worth a Google so you can see it. Still ironing out the kinks with this live.
No, I have no. This is like the first real live that we've done in my backyard. Oh, in case
Interesting.
you're wondering, yeah, that graffiti is right there. It's in my backyard. I'm not going someplace else. That the graffiti in my
Trust me, it's there. It's over there.
so it's huge.
Yeah, the whole. I was telling the guys, it's like, this is morning. This is moving on to noon. This is at the
This
end
is
of the
final
day.
thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts. Here we are.
And then but then you have a cutout area
Yeah.
for you
They go into the
where
tree.
I won't film there because that is now electrical wheel
Yeah.
section. There you go.
For the dogs. That's what it is. All right.
Thank you guys for
Wrap it
watching.
up.
We appreciate it. Appreciate the support. And go do something else. Now, go out for a bike ride.
Some fun.
Get out of here.
Everybody.